We're back with my in-studio guest, Judge John Unpingco. We're talking veterans and Veterans Affairs. Before the break, we're talking about Veterans Cemetery and the rules and regulations that have been in place. And anyway, tell us about it, the effective date, and what all can be done, what cannot be done, and what we can expect with our Veterans Cemetery.
Well, the Veterans Cemetery has really gone down over the years. It is sort of like a not too well kept place, and we want to get it up to standard. By standard, I mean standards promulgated by national cemeteries for veterans. And we are going to enforce the rules according to the rules that have been in existence since the Veteran Cemetery was handled by Department of Parks and Recs quite a ways back. Those rules are that the fresh flowers may be placed on the graves at any time. However, they're removed when they become wilted or unsightly, or when storms are forecasted. Potted plants and artificial flowers will be permitted on graves and crypts during the weeks of Memorial Day, All Souls Day, and Veterans Day. They will be removed thereafter. Plantings, statues, vigil lights, glass objects, or any type of commemorative items are not permitted. Flowers are allowed on crypt covers. There's no decorations allowed on the monuments or markers. And the private maintenance of graves, such as pouring concrete on the outline of the grave, or killing the grass so that it looks sharp, is not permitted. Unfortunately, we have not enforced the rules in the past. With this administration, we want to enforce the rules. Now, let me pause for a moment and say that enforcement of the rules now is necessary in order for us to go forward with our plans to have a facelift of the cemetery. We're working on a facelift of the cemetery right now with the National Guard and the other organizations, but it's going to be very difficult without enforcement of the rules, because the rules are there. Every time a person comes in to bury somebody, they're given a copy of the rules. They're told to read it. The rules are explained to them, and then they sign a document saying they understand the rules. Right now, we are already actively trimming the perimeter. You see a lot of brush being removed, and in addition to the maintenance, the daily maintenance of the cemetery, the cutting of the grass and all that, that's part of our long overall scheme, is to replace the perimeter fence with a combination concrete wall and a chain link fence on top of it.
And basically upgrading and give it the dignity and the honor that it should have.
We as veterans, and I speak from personal experience, we care for how we look, and there's no difference, or rather, I should say, it should carry over into the place where we're finally laid to rest.
Well, I mean, as a veteran, when you report to work, you have to be in uniform, and there's no ands or buts or as to what you can put on uniform or not, right? Judge, let's go to a caller. Let's go to Boom from Chalampago. Good evening, Boom.
Hello. Yes. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Okay, my question is for the facility of the VA clinic. Why is it that they just built a 4-story VA clinic in the Philippines right across the embassy versus the size of our clinic here in Guam needs to be bigger?
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor. Kind of ironic, right?
Well, yes, it is. But in a way, it's easily explainable.
Okay.
Because the veterans in the Philippines are united. Because the races think about not getting adequate services.
And this is to their government, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And to our government.
To the U.S. federal government.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And with us, we're trying to, we got a brand new CBOC clinic built. It's about 6,000 square feet. But we quickly realized after it was completed that it was too small.
You've outgrown it already.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we are advocating that part of Naval Hospital not be raised, that is, it's going to be leveled to the ground and turned into parking lot. Part of it should be saved, and that part should be dedicated to a veterans hospital.
As a matter of fact, you had written a letter to, I guess, your federal counterparts, I guess maybe even to some senators or higher-ups in regards to that particular issue.
Yes.
Did we get any response back?
I wrote to Senator Webb, James Webb of Virginia, Senators Akaka, and Senator Inouye of Hawaii. Both Akaka and Inouye are from Hawaii. I got a response from Senator Akaka that he's in the process of filing a formal inquiry with the appropriate authority regarding my concerns. And so he'll be contacting me further. That's the only response I've gotten. I must admit the time frame is very short.
Time is not on our side, basically, yeah.
But even with respect to the letters, I sent the letters out not too long ago, so I'm not expecting an immediate response.
There we go. But let me ask you this as well. With facilities, and again, as soon as that facility was built, the 6,000 square feet facility, you outgrew it. The facility now, you're wanting to preserve some of the Naval Hospital that is slated to be demolished, basically for a parking lot. You want to preserve some of that for veterans to be treated. But let me ask you this. So we're going to have a facility, but are we going to be able to get medical personnel to service our veterans continuously?
Very good question. I see it as my job to bring our needs to the attention of the people in Hawaii, because like our CBOC, our clinics and the staffing of it are all controlled by Hawaii. And I see it as my job to campaign for more medical personnel to be sent out here. Suffice it to say that at this stage, it's always a chicken and egg relationship. You know, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? In this case, which comes first, the building or the people? So I'm hoping to break out of that conundrum and at least get the building.
Now you said, I mean, the caller just said that in the Philippines, a four-story facility that services veterans. Now, are these the Philippine veterans?
No.
U.S. veterans.
These are, to my knowledge, from what I've been informed. These are U.S. veterans.
Okay.
Yes.
U.S. veterans, and they're probably Filipinos, right? As well, or it doesn't.
It doesn't matter. You know, there's quite a few Caucasian
that have since moved over
veterans,
there.
Yes. Because the cost of living is very low there.
Now you said, you know, this is where the togetherness comes in to get the group together to as a political group, basically. To forces amongst the powers that will at this point. What did the veterans then have to do? Because you identified the facility, you identified Naval Hospital as, hey, wait, don't tear it down, don't make it a parking lot. We can still use this. It's still got a lot of life. But our veterans here, I mean, are literally dying because they're not getting the treatment that they so deserve.
Well, I don't know about the dying part.
No, I'm not talking about the GMH situation. I'm just saying that they're, I mean, a lot of them are needing the treatment at this point, and possibly having to wait for months, if not years, to try to get that.
We dealt with that problem already, and because there was a shortage of doctors up at the Naval Hospital, or I'm sorry, at the CBOC clinic, we dealt with that problem. One additional doctor has been has come on board, from what I understand, and another one was detailed for 2 weeks. With respect to veterans not getting the proper care, yes, an incident has come to my attention, and we have remedied that situation. But on the whole, it's partly because Naval Hospital doesn't have the right resources.
The right resources.
Yeah. And so I can't say that as a rule across the board.
Sure. Now, but it would make all the sense in the world that your letter will be taken seriously and say, hey, as a matter of fact, we have a lot of veterans. I mean it's definitely we've got the highest percentage of men and women in volunteer service, and serving in the Guard and all that, and we should as well likewise have our own facility.
Yes, yes, we definitely should. We should not settle for anything less than first class.
There we go.
We deserve it, and if we unite to make our voices heard in wanting and in asking for a first-class facility, then by God, they should pay attention to us.
And you're on a mission there, Your Honor.
Yes.
632-8255 is the number to interact with us tonight. We'll be right back.